change the color a little bit. And then, so now let's go a little faster. Okay. A little faster.
Don't care about the color, don't care about the word.
Red. Purple. Orange.
A little bit more fun, okay? Very good. So, I'm going to introduce myself just for a little bit. So,
Anh đánh
so
chop lên mà đâu
anyone
mày
here
lên mà error mà.
listen carefully earlier. Where am I from?
Kenya.
So does anyone know what country this is up top? Philippines. Very good. How about over here on the right side? This one here. US? US, we have one there.
Trên mưa map hả?
Oh, up here. What country is above the US? Oh, I hear someone? Canada. Yes, this is Canada. And down here?
Australia.
Okay. This is Australia.
Trên mưa map.
So, who heard clearly? Where am I from? Where did I grow up?
Australia.
Australia?
US.
So, how many Philippines? I see some hands. Okay, so Philippines. Canada? No. Okay, so two in the back. Australia?
US.
Brave man. And America? Yeah. So a lot of people listen carefully. America. But I was born somewhere else. I was born in the Philippines. Okay, so I am Filipino American. So my citizenship is America. I'm from America. So I went to elementary school, high school, university, all in America. And then here, okay? So where in America am I from? I'm from California. This is where I'm from, okay? And this little part right here is where I'm from.
California nó chặt lắm.
Okay, next.
Chết lọ.
So teaching. So about my teaching. What is my favorite part of
Come up
teaching?
in Lucia.
Oh, reading.
Reading? So here, we give you some choices. So is it the teaching? Teaching students. Is that my favorite part? Or is it the students? Are the students my favorite part? Working with other teachers. Okay, coming together, working with other teachers. Or was it having my own classroom and being able to create my own environment? Which ones do you think?
Kids. All. All.
You're very smart. It is all. Very good. I liked everything about teaching. So I love coming in, talking to the students. Each class has their own personality. So it's good to know, get to know each student, who they are. And then sometimes when I did have my own classroom, being able to put up the students' works and be able to see everything. And then, working with my teachers, figuring out how can we be the best teacher? What can we do for the students? And of course, teaching it, putting it to use. Okay, next one here. So before, my past. So you have a little bit of hints. So this question here, how many countries have I lived in? And how many have I traveled to? Okay, so a little different questions. So I'll give you choices. Someone said 2, so 2 is a choice. Four, 5, and 6. So how many think 2?
America, Cambodia, 4 này. I think 4.
4. 4, we have one over here. A couple around the room. 5.
Philippines, America,
6.
Cambodia.
Oh, I wish it was 6. I wish it was 6. It is 4.
Yeah.
So I gave
Philippines,
some
America,
hints.
Korea, and
Born
Khmer.
in the Philippines, grew up in America,
USA, Korea,
lived in Korea.
and Cambodia.
So the 4th one?
Cambodia.
Living in Cambodia.
Yeah.
So I lived in Japan.
Oh, Japan.
My father was U.S. Air Force. So our family moved to Japan for a little bit when I was in elementary school. Okay, countries that I traveled to so far, 13. 13 countries. This is my first time in Cambodia. So it's been great so far.
Which
We got here on Monday. So it's been
Which country?
a lot of fun. That's about myself. Last one here. What is my biggest fear? What am I scared of in life? What am I scared of? Is it public speaking?
Cool. Close.
Okay. So here, afraid of heights. Afraid of the dark.
Dark.
Or clowns.
Clown.
No.
Anyone afraid of clowns?
No.
No.
Huh?
Dark.
Have
Dark.
you seen the movie It?
Yeah. Yeah. នេះរងធ្វើ slide មួយគ្នាហ្នឹងហើយប្រើ style
So I
slide
am
អី
afraid of
Dark.
heights.
បាច់គោះ
Public speaking, maybe before, but when I start, clowns. Okay, so I'm still afraid of heights. A few years ago, I did bungee jump.
Bungee
Maybe I
jumping
thought, oh, I'm done with my fear of heights, but
អេរ៉ានក៏ប្រើអញ្ចឹងហើយលើករឿងអ៊ីតអាមេរិកាំង
okay,
ដូច
so that's a
គ្នា
little bit about
តែ
myself.
តែមួយ
So now I want to warm up your brain a little bit more. Okay?
Riddle.
Warm up your brain a little bit more before we start.
ពីបណ្
So
ដា
I'm going to give a quick riddle. Okay, quick riddle. Okay? So for this question here, what comes once in a minute,
បាត់ never is
twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? If you know the answer, raise your hands.
A
Huh?
A
A?
Yeah.
On the right track? No, not A. Never in 1,000 years. The letter M. Very good. The letter M. So what comes once in a minute? There's one M.
and twice in a moment
Twice in a moment? 1, 2, twice in a moment. But no M in 1,000 years. Post-its and
អ្នកអូនមានហើយអ៊ីត notebook អា stick ហែក
Now to get into a group, okay? Group thinking. So I call this activity or this exercise one word. Okay? One word. So what I'm going to do, so I won't put you into groups, but maybe just talk with some people around you in front or behind. And I'll give you a topic. I want you to try to think of one word. Try to think of one word that describes the topic. So example, we'll do one together. Okay? We'll do one together. Example, ice cream. What words do you think of when you see ice cream?
cold
Yummy, cold, sweet, good. Delicious.
Expensive.
Cold, good. Yeah, another group said unhealthy. So kind of like this, but in a group we'll talk, okay? So let's do another one here. So I'll give you the topic of Cambodia. Okay? It's my first time here, so I don't know too much about Cambodia.
Geography.
So with maybe some people next to you, can you talk and try to think of one word together? So talk with maybe people sitting next to you. Describe Cambodia.
Geography. Border. Vietnam. Location. Hometown. Yeah, direction.
Let's come back together.
Geography.
So, any groups want to share? What words did you think of for Cambodia?
You think about the direction.
Direction. Which direction? Good. You have one in the back. Temples. Yeah. Describing that. Yeah.
Beautiful beaches.
Beautiful beaches. Yes. 2 words. Get one more. Many Chinese people.
Also Vietnamese.
Maybe is there any over here? So far Cambodia.
Không
Okay,
sao.
let's go to another one. 2 more. So now we'll get into teaching. So what do you think about when you think about teaching?
Good teacher.
Students, okay?
Teacher.
Classroom.
Classroom. Good.
Whiteboard.
Behavior. Yung behavior. Yeah.
Techniques.
materials
Materials. Chant?
Chair.
Chairs. But hopefully the students stay in the chairs. Okay. Yeah, so some other ones. Yeah, yesterday I had a training, and it was kind of an older teacher. She said exhausted. Teaching can be exhausted. Okay. One last one. Okay. Reading. So what do you think about
book
books?
Story.
Eyes.
Dog.
Environment. Good. What is the environment? Ideas. Good.
Library.
Yeah, library. Library has all the books. Author. Good. The author writes the books. Okay. So today, really quick. So who here likes reading? I like reading.
I don't like reading, but I must read it.
So do you have a favorite book?
Yes.
So it can be Cambodian or does anyone read in English? English books.
Yes. English book.
So any favorite English book?
Yes.
novel
You know the title?
Yeah,
novel
What was your favorite book?
Me.
Yeah.
Bible.
Bible
Bible. Okay, very good. So here's an interesting question here. So in America, on average, how long does an American read a day? You think? How many minutes or hours do you think they read? So like a number. Like what number of minutes or hours?
It depends.
Huh? How long?
ពួកនឹងអានច្រើនណាចាំអាច4 to 5ម៉ោង
15. 15?
I think like 4 or 5 hours a day
4 or 5 hours a day?
yep
2 hours a day.
So actually, an American reads 16 minutes a day. 16 minutes a day.
We do extensive
So
reading.
reading is slowly becoming not as common. So to kind of gauge that, an American reads 16 minutes a day, but watches TV 166 minutes a day. So there's a big gap between watching TV and now reading. So I like reading. This is me.
when you watch
So reading
them
is fun. Okay? I enjoy reading. So these are some of the books I've been reading.
the eye of mind
So, how about your students now? Do your students like reading?
No.
No? Why do
គាត់
you
នេះ
think
ទាញ
they don't
ទាញ
like
ប្រេសិនស្អាតចូលមករៀប skill
big
លីង
problem?
ចូលតរគាត់ទីចូលរឿងរៀបលីង
Yep, a little bit louder. No? Difficult? Okay, so today for the reading session, I'll go over these things. So a little bit, Sue kind of went over some of these today already, so it's kind of a nice transition. So first I'm going to go over what is reading,
big fun
what are the challenges, and then maybe review, see if you remember what is the big five. Okay, Sue already told you what the big five is. Then I'll go over how can we teach the big five. So there was 5 things. What kind of activities, what kind of techniques can we use for the big five? And then going over some reading skills, and then readers. So she showed you a little bit. We have Phonics fun readers, the big box there on the table. And we have another set of readers called classic readers. And I'll introduce those a bit to you and how you can use them in class for practice reading. And then any extra materials that you can use in the classroom. So I'm hoping to use the majority of the time in this section here. So we'll go through a little bit of this in the beginning and then get you involved, show you some activities that maybe you can use in the classroom. So let's start. What is reading? Anyone want to guess? What is reading? Is an active skill.
Productive or receptive?
receptive skill
Receptive
receive
skill.
ទទួលទៅ
Is it a receptive skill? So I'm looking for the definition, meaning. What does reading mean? What is it?
Getting information.
Decode, yeah. Oh, good.
Coding.
So you're on the right track. So reading is making meaning from text. Okay? So reading is you read something, you get some kind of meaning. Okay? So first, so the reading process, you identify the words. Okay? This is word recognition. And then you start building an understanding from the words. Okay? So I recognize these words, now I know what they mean. And then once you get an understanding of the words, once you start putting the words together, you make a sentence, you understand what the sentence means. And this comes into a bit of fluency. Okay? Also, if I go a bit too fast, if you do want this presentation, I can give you my card, you can email, and I can send this file to you if you like it. So you can talk to me afterwards and I can send this to you if you need it. Okay? So now, what are some challenges? Okay? What are some challenges of DFL reading? Okay? So let's go over the phonics skills. Okay? Some of the students don't know phonics, they don't know how to read. They don't know the sight words. Too many new words. Sentence structures, the grammar. Oh, I don't understand what the grammar is. The ideas. Someone said ideas for reading. Okay? And then background knowledge. What is the topic? What am I reading? And then the actual reading skills and comprehension. So a lot of these are the challenges of trying to teach EFL reading. So now the big five. Let's see, let's do a quick review. Does anybody remember what was the first one from the big five? You remember?
What recognition?
Phonics skills number 2.
Comprehension. Number 3, fluency.
So I think I heard someone here with phonemic awareness.
Phonemic awareness.
So 1, phonics was number 2.
Phonic comprehension, fluency, vocabulary.
I
Comprehension,
have a little bit different order. So vocabulary,
fluency,
and
reading
so
comprehension.
this is kind of the order that it would go in for instruction. Okay? So phonemic awareness went over. That's when the students.
Phonemic
Actually, I'll go over in a second. So yeah, this is the order. So let's go over first. Yeah, how to teach it. Okay, now how to teach it. So some things how to teach them. Start with the phonics skills. Okay? So if they don't know the phonics, they won't be able to decode the words by themselves. So they'll need that and the sight words. Then pre-teaching the vocabulary. So you don't want them to start reading a book, but then have so many new words that they don't know already. So teaching them what kind of words that might be new to them before reading the book. Okay, using visual aids to motivate students. So that comes in a little bit later, like some animation or the pictures in the book. Then, so this is reading comprehension, teaching students to understand meaning from context. So Sue touched on a bit earlier. That's when the stories come in. Okay? They know what these words mean, but when do I use them? And then provide background knowledge. What is this story about? What kind of content? And then teach the reading skills, more about comprehension. So here, so now we go a little bit into phonemic awareness and phonics. So they're very close together, very close together. Phonemic awareness is spoken. Okay? It's the spoken language. They've heard a lot of the words, and they can manipulate the phonemes by speaking. Okay? This is only speaking. So this is usually, phonemic awareness starts before kindergarten, early age, like 3 or 4, they start being able to speak some more words, like mama, dada. They start being able to manipulate language. And then phonics is taking those sounds and putting them on the paper, written. So this sound a goes with this letter, a. So that's where phonics comes in, so writing. So starting with phonics skills and sight words. That's where it starts. So like here, so this is an example of a phonics reader that we have. So kind of simple words. So the main target of this reader is the letter A. Okay? So each book has a target, and it will be highlighted in red. So this one is the A. The dam spots a ram. So being able to just associate the sound with the letter.
Dan ran to the Dan.
Everyone's reading.
The man ran to
Dance
the
for
So
Dan.
this is
Rain.
phonics skills, something to
The
start
rain
with.
is
Like I
mad.
went over before, having visuals, okay?
Into the
They
dam.
see ram,
The man
there's the ram, okay?
ran
Dan
to the
is here.
dam.
He is mad.
Angry.
Lot mấy cô
So it's
chồng
just a lot of repetition with the same phonics.
cho là cô
Same movement.
with I am
So then the sight words, teaching the sight words. In every book, every one of our readers, it tells you what sight word
cho là
is in the
cô
book.
cái
So you can look in the back of the book. Okay, these are the sight words. This is what the student should kind of memorize, what Sue was referring to earlier. The more sight words that the student can remember, their fluency goes way up. Because then once they memorize it, they see it, they don't have to use their decoding skills to read it. They just see it, they know what it means, and they keep going. So those are the sight words that are provided in the books. And then, so using audio and visuals. Okay? So I already told you about the visuals here. For phonics,
Illustration.
okay, there's pictures in the book.
Illustration.
The audio here.
Mình illustration
Track 2.
illustration.
Listen to the story and read along.
So listening to the audio, you can have the book open.
Dan is a man.
They can follow along with
Dan
the
is
story.
a man. The man is Dan. The man is Dan.
So being able to listen and they can repeat.
Dan. Dan has a fan.
Để
The fan is 10.
có tao nó ở thơ mũi sập hơi rồi.
Listen to the
Right?
Có mũi sập hơi.
So that's like an example of using audio for phonics and phonemic awareness. So for phonemic awareness, they can just listen. They don't need to follow along with the book. They just listen to the story, or you can read to them. There's a way to get that started. So they always say reading to a child when they're young kind of leads to that. They get knowledge of the phonemes. Okay, now let's go into number 3. So I did 1 and 2 already for phonemic awareness and phonics. Here's vocabulary. So I talked about pre-teaching vocabulary, letting them know what words are coming, and then practicing key vocabulary. I'll do some activities a little bit later. So in the books also, so here,
Chess.
words to know.
Fit.
So there are,
Twice.
this page comes in the beginning of the book. So you open the book, you'll see the title, and then there will be a page with words to know. So here's the key vocabulary for the readers. So you can go over this with the student before they read. And then also, vocabulary, you can also use audio and visual. This one here, we do have animations for the readers.
Là internet ôi con.
This one.
Tập riêng
So
luôn.
this is an example of one of our classic readers.
The Wolves and the Seven Children. Tự đà lên hay về đấy.
So you can show them this and then go over the vocabulary. You can pause it, like, oh, what is this? What's a goat? So this is some of the things that are included in our readers. We won't go too far into the.
của cái trò xí của họ.
Yeah, so now, so that was number 3 of vocabulary. Now number 4, reading fluency. What are some strategies we can use for fluency? So first one here, audio assisted reading. So this is what I mentioned earlier about using the audio track. The students have their book open and you play them the audio and then they can follow along with the audio. Shared reading. So this is the kind of reading together as a class. So one student starts, and then the next student will read, kind of reading together. So share the reading of the same book. Choral reading. So this is where the teacher will read to the students. They'll, to the point that the students get very familiar with the story. So maybe not just one time, but maybe every day they'll go over the same story and the teacher will read to the students. Paired reading. So So that's when you get together with your partner, practice going back and forth reading the same story. Reader's theater. So this one here, role playing. Okay? Role playing. So there are different characters in the stories. It's bringing the stories to life. Okay? Getting some students to be a part, play a part. Okay? And then kind of performing it in front of class. So you can have a lot of fun with this. I do a lot of role play. I'm a teacher. They can make a lot of props, or they can bring stuff from home. And then timed reading. We'll do some examples of timed reading and repeated reading a bit later. So timed reading is just giving them a set amount of time, and then how much can they read? And then repeated reading is just repetition. Doing it over and over. So that's reading fluency. Now, comprehension. Okay. So there's kind of steps for comprehension. So before reading, you kind of review what you kind of taught previous lesson. Activate the background knowledge. What does the student already know? What more can you expand for them with their knowledge that they know? Okay. And then warm up. So warm up can be warming up words or sentences from the previous lesson. And then during reading, so I've kind of gone over this already, listening to the story, using the audio, reading the story, then see if they understand what's happening, and then practicing the fluency. So using these strategies during reading. And then after the reading, reviewing the new words, reviewing the story, and then activities or tests. So some examples. So we have this classic reader here. This was the video earlier. So the wolf and the 7 children. So there's a little excerpt here. What is the background of this? So this is a story by the Grimm brothers. It is a story about listening to your mother and being safe. Okay. So for background, so before reading, kind of warm them up. So the story is about listening to your mother. Does anyone remember some things that your mom would always tell you when you were younger? For me, clean up your room. Get home, come home after school. Do your homework. Wash the dishes. Some things that your mom would say to you if you would listen. So kind of a background knowledge. What experiences they have in being safe. And also associating the characters. So then, before reading, so here's another example. Background knowledge. So it's about your mother. So think of your mother, draw her. Kind of a simple activity. Doesn't have to be nothing too complicated. And then during reading, so you meet the characters, kind of review, who is this, match, and then what are they saying in the story? What are they saying in the story? So this is checking if they're understanding the story. And then after reading, so they can do something simple, little small book report, okay? Write their name, date, book title, words. What did they learn? Okay, what did they learn from the story? So this is reviewing the new words. Do they remember it? And then understanding the story, review the story, give them the words, and review. And then at the end. So this is going from before reading, during reading, after reading. So now the reading skills.
Đâu mà chứ
So these are the kinds of things you wouldn't teach all of this in one class. Don't try to jam too much into one, okay? So just kind of identifying cause and effect, sequencing. So example, you can get like flashcards. I have the picture yet. There's a picture later. So you can take images from the book and ask the students, put them in order. When did this happen in the story? Beginning, during, end. And then scanning for the main ideas, identifying feelings and attitudes. How did this character feel? What do you think they were thinking? So these are some examples. Okay, so this is the reading cycle. Okay? This is the goal of the readers of the future. Okay, so this is a cycle, it goes around. So student begins to read a story. So they look at the book, they start going through it a little bit, maybe not reading it, but kind of going through the story. And then they look inside, they see inside the book, and then, oh, this is interesting to me. So then they keep going. And then the student starts to understand what they're reading. Okay? What is this? Okay? And once they start understanding, goes into class, they start feeling confident. Okay? Oh, I know this story well, I know what's going on, I can answer the questions, I can do all this. And then once they get that confidence, I've always believed confidence is the most important thing in a student. It always leads to success. So once the student becomes confident, they get a positive association with reading. I read this story, I understand it, it's good, I can keep reading, I like it. So going back to some of the books I read, sometimes they're a long series. So you read the first one, like, oh, I need to know what happens next. Keep picking up, keep going to the next one.
That's right.
Okay, so there's two types of reading strategies. Okay? So first one here, we have intensive reading. So intensive reading is the reading in the classroom. Okay? So the teacher's choice, we pick the book, we decide when they're going to read it, and when all of the 4 skills come out. Basically, this is what happens in the classroom for the most part. Then we have extensive reading. So now this is the student's choice. Okay? This is where we want to get them to read. So it's the student's choice to read. They enjoy doing it frequently. The fluency goes up. They enjoy it. Their motivation is from themselves. And the teacher is there just to monitor. We don't get too involved with their reading. They decide to read. Readers. So let me go over the readers just really quickly. So the graded readers. So graded readers are just the classic ones. So we have the phonics readers over there. They're for the beginning learners, so they're not really graded. But graded readers are for the language learners, which has simplified vocabulary, grammar to aid user reading. So in future we make sure the vocabulary isn't too hard. So each graded reader has its level. It has this amount of words, this amount of sight words, and is designated for that type of level. So like here we have one of the phonics readers, Dan and the Ram. So we listened earlier, this is Dan and the Ram. So Dan is a man, the man is Dan. So we have the cover page here and the illustrations. So in the book, so there is also a chant. The book also has